You're now listening to the Art of Reinvention show hosted by your boy TeflonJohn, where my goal is to change the world one person at a time by provoking thought. And you're now in the right place to receive motivation, inspiration, so you can make it throughout your day, so you can make it throughout your week. And so like I said, I just want you guys to sit back and just absorb all the content. And as I always say, one love, be blessed. Hey, what's up? It's your boy TeflonJohn coming to you courtesy of the I Am TeflonJohn brand and the Art of Reinvention podcast show. And I'd like to just thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for continuing to support. Just want to thank you wherever you are. And right now, if you would like to support the I Am TeflonJohn brand and the Art of Reinvention podcast show, you can simply go to iamteflonjohn.com/donate, where you're able to donate through PayPal. Because right now, I'm trying to get some more equipment where I can increase my reach and help reach more people. And again, that's iamteflonjohn, spelled JOHN.com/donate. And today's episode, we're going to get right into it. So we're going to talk about accountability, right? And we're talking about holding ourselves accountable. And we start doing that by just realizing that some things that happen in our lives, some things that happens are just our fault. And we got to realize that no matter how much we try to blame other people, no matter how much, other people are in that, the equation of what happened to us or how many other people may be involved, some things are just our fault. And that's just the way it is. And some of the decisions we make, some of the choices we make them ultimately at the end of the day. And so I think if we're living this life where we want to categorize ourselves as a victim all the time, it's not really going to be helpful to us in the long run, right? Because truly, at the end of the day, when everybody's gone, when everybody's not around and it's just us, we have to make that choice. You know what I'm saying? We have to live with whatever we decide to do, we have to live with. And so what you have to realize is that things in life will happen to shape your life, to shape, your perspective and how you make those choices and decisions. And so I would just strongly urge you just to kind of take moments in life to clear your mind, take moments in life to, separate yourself from the situation that you're in, because sometimes, it's easy to blame someone else. It's very easy. It's very easy to blame someone of why you're at the job you're at now and not in your career. Very easy to blame someone. Very easy. And so you have to look at it multiple ways, right? You have to look at it to where when something happens, you have to say, okay, what part did I play in this? You know what I mean? What part did I play in this? Whether you're in a bad relationship, whether you're at a bad job, what part did you play in? Did you not exercise your faith? Did you not exercise your belief in yourself and try to get, to a certain status on your job, as far as your relationship? Are you allowing the behavior that the other person's doing? You have to really look at that. And then you have to say, okay, at the end of the day, did I do everything within my power to try to reach another level, to try to reach and accomplish my goals? Did I do everything? Because many times in life happens and we get lazy, we get tired. And before you know it, it's the next day. Then the same process happens. We get lazy, we get tired, then it's the next day. And this can happen over years, right? And sometimes things have happened to us in our lives where it's like we hit the pause button, where it's like we're a 40-year-old woman or 32-year-old male, but yet mentally and psychologically and emotionally, we're 8 years old. When something happened to us, it's like our emotions and our life just paused, even though we began to get older. And sometimes these situations, like I said, it shapes us. It shapes our perspective. It shapes our ideologies. It shapes the way we think. And so we have to realize that sometimes we got to get help. Sometimes we got to reach out and we got to talk to people. And by doing that, growth should take place. And then we'll start to identify these areas in our lives that need to change in order for us to change, in order for us to, to significantly grow. And so that has to happen. And it's a hard conversation. It's a thought-provoking topic, holding yourself accountable, because there are many times where I look at how far I could be in life right now had I finished school, had I finished this, had I grinded out and did this instead of doing that, right? But through that, life will give you lessons. You know what I mean? And so either way it goes, you'll always learn. So don't feel like because you're in a certain situation now that you're stuck, because you won't always be there. And so you have to look at it from that standpoint as, you should continue to grow daily. You should continue to take on life and try to reinvent yourself. And that's what this podcast is all about. And so by holding yourself accountable, right, now we look at it from a standpoint of we can do something different, right? We can talk to someone different. We can separate ourselves from certain people. We can surround ourselves with different people, right? Surround ourselves with better energy. And so you have to look at it to where you are responsible for your ultimate destination in life. You're responsible for it. If you don't want to go through it, if you don't want to grind out, if you don't want to put forth that effort, if you don't want to reach that level of feeling uncomfortable because you want everything to be easy, it's your fault. It's my fault. It's our fault. And many times in life, we often look at where we are, and it's easier to point that other finger. It's easier. I read a quote or heard somebody talking, and they said it's easier to look out the window and point the finger than it is to look in the mirror and point the finger. Why? Because when you look in the mirror, you're stuck looking at one person, and that's you. That's me. We look at ourselves. And so what I want you to do, just like Michael Jackson said, he said he's starting with the man in the mirror or the woman in the mirror. Let's start with that person and say, what can we do better, right? Because we can't control other people. That's just the reality of it. We can't control their thoughts. We can't control their ideas. We can't control their feelings, but we can control ours, right? We can't control who's in the room. We can't control who's not in the room. And so what we got to do is look at it from that standpoint that there are certain elements in our life that we can control, and we need to do that. We need to do that because you'll wonder all day about how someone feels about you, but you should know how you feel about yourself, right? You will wonder all day will somebody invest in you, but you should be able to invest in yourself, right? And so I want you guys to just continue to push and really push beyond these limits and the boundaries. And most of the limits and boundaries are going to be mental. You're going to have mental plateaus you got to go over. You got to get over. You're going to have mental obstacles that you have to get over because you're only as strong as your brain. And sometimes your brain is wired to think certain ways, whether you're anxious a lot or thinking about things from the wrong point of view. Many times you are often, controlled by that. You don't make certain decisions because of the way you think. You're always thinking about the bad outcome instead of the good outcome. You're always thinking about, somebody's looking at you, somebody's thinking about you. So you gotta really go after it from the standpoint of anything is possible. And you have to be headstrong, right? You have to be headstrong. And this is just going to be a short episode because the main thing I want you guys to just take away from is we got to hold ourselves accountable, even for accomplishing goals and meeting deadlines in our own life, because many times we go to work and we can meet deadlines and we can show up on time to meetings and grind out and really go hard and put forth that extra mile when we look at our Microsoft Outlook calendar. But when it comes to our personal life and our personal goals, we tend to slack up. And so you have to think about, hold yourself accountable. Have you done that? Are you going harder on your job than you are in your personal life? Are you going harder on your work relationships versus the personal meaning relationships, right? Are you going harder on other people's goals than yourselves? And if you answer yes, I would question yourself and say, what can I do different? And I would like to say that this episode is going to be short and sweet. Comment on my website. Let me know what else you guys want to hear. Because like I said, right now, I'm going to be doing these episodes weekly, grinding out. I'm going to have a special guest coming up, and I appreciate you guys for checking out my podcast, checking out my website. I appreciate you guys. And again, if you would like to donate to help out the brand, you can go to IamTeflonJohn.com/donate. And I appreciate it. And I want you guys to leave with that. Ask yourself this question: what can I do? What can I do? Right? Look in the mirror instead of looking out the window. And as I always say, one love, be blessed. We would like to thank you for listening to this episode of The Art of Reinvention by TeflonJohn, and we encourage you to share this episode across all your social media platforms. And we also encourage you to visit our website at www.imteflonjohn.com and follow us on all our social media platforms at facebook.com/realteflonjohn, twitter.com/realteflonjohn, and instagram.com/realteflonjohn. And while you're on Facebook, go ahead and like our page so you can receive first-hand notifications every time we go live with a motivational video or any motivational content. And as I always say, one love, be blessed.